let's turn it over to our sharpshooting three-point expert, Tim Hardaway Jr. Good afternoon, sir. Congratulations on the win last night.
Good afternoon. Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
Well, we were talking about elements of the fast start to the game and then obviously elements of the second quarter. Not just you, but the team as a whole. When y'all are hitting the three-pointers, do you feel like this team, like in that moment, is unstoppable?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that, but I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody around the league feels like that as well with their own team. So it's just having a feel-good factor when you see shots go in. Human nature, you know, you feel good, you're playing good, and everything translates to both ends of the floor.
On the flip side, and I've always been curious from a shooter's perspective, what are you thinking when the ball is just not going in? When it looks like that basket is teeny tiny? If you're like 0 for 6, are you like, I got to shoot my way out of it? Or do you ever think, I need to do other things tonight because it's not going my way?
Yeah, I think beginning of my career, I was like that. If it wasn't falling, then I'll probably be out of it. And then as I got more mature, as I got older, as I started working on my craft a lot more and shooting the ball a lot more, I just realized that, you know, there's other elements into the game that I could get going as far as like getting an easy 2 on a fast break or like yesterday or in Denver taking a charge, a key charge throughout the game, diving on the floor or just being in the moment, grabbing rebounds, getting assists. There's other ways to get yourself involved in the game, and the ball finds great energy. So I just try to stay locked in with that and go from there.
I think you have like 35 in the month of December right now, which is just a
three-pointers?
Yeah, three-pointers, which is an insane number. But like I think it was Dennis Scott once described shooting and being in the zone as like throwing a tennis ball into a garbage can, and I was just kind of like, you have that same feeling? You have a different description for it?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think more so that the ball is coming off your hand like a feather. I would say it's that easy. And the ball feels light. You're fluid in your motion when you're shooting, and more than that, you're confident. Most importantly,
I want to talk about your defense and team defense. And I know that you didn't guard Shea all night long. I know that's a team situation. But looking at the West, when it comes to Shea, Ja, Lillard, Curry, Booker, who's the toughest guy for you to guard? I know they're all great, but who's the guy, like, when you have them one-on-one, that seems to be your toughest guy to guard?
I'm not saying anything because, you know, we still got to play them. I'll answer that question when I retire. How about that?
Okay. We're gonna
Fair enough, all right?
we're gonna make a list of questions. I feel like that you're like, hit
but
me back.
But I will say this though, that I mean the guys that are constantly moving, the guys that are constantly coming off ball screens, that can move without the ball, that obviously create for their teammates, and are coming off pin downs and down screens and all that stuff. Those are guys that are definitely some of the hardest guys to guard throughout the whole entire league, I would say.
You mentioned, you know, going down to the floor to grab a ball or whatever the case might be in terms of those hustle plays. How much discussion have y'all had maybe in the last couple of weeks about rebounding? Because season started off well, and then y'all fell into a funk where it felt like regardless of the outcome, game after game, y'all were getting outboarded. Has that changed at all in the last couple of weeks?
I believe so. I mean, you see guards now checking a lot more for guys coming in to rebound because, I mean, for the most part, it's always been just the bigs, you know, getting boards and stuff like that, and guards just leaking out or just being ready for outlets. But now everybody, you know, in this day and age, everybody's crashing. Everybody wants a putback dunk. Everybody wants that extra possession. So it's all 5 guys that have to be productive and be locked in on that end of the floor because we're getting stops, but it's the defensive rebound. I mean, the offensive rebound that just deflates, you know, the whole entire team. You know, so we just got to get the rebounds and grab the rebounds because we are getting stops, I will say.
And Tim, last night you guys were good at the free throw line, but overall this season, I think I saw in clutch minutes you guys are a 62% free throw shooting team, which is worst in the NBA. How do you guys fix that the second half of the season and in the playoffs?
Well, I mean, right before I got on the phone with you guys, we all shot 50 free throws individually. So we're doing that after every single practice. We're in here working on our free throws. We're in here constantly making it game-like with the music playing in the background and so on and so forth. So, I mean, we're in here working, I will tell you.
How many did you make?
25, 26, 25, 25.
Okay.
And then, it's two, so, I mean, it's different in practice, I will say, obviously. You can't reenact the game. It's totally different, especially when you're on the road. So, it's different.
Since we're talking about free throws, and you don't have to name anybody specifically, but I saw Mark Cuban voice complaints to the NBA about how long it takes Giannis to shoot a free throw. Do you ever stand at the line and you're like, oh my God, dude, just shoot the ball already?
No, I mean, it's just routine. I mean, everybody has a routine. Everybody has a way of locking in and focusing in on at the rim and concentrating on and making the free throw. That's his way of doing it. I mean, it takes longer than some players. Well, most players. I mean, but I mean, he does knock down the free throws occasionally, and he has been knocking them down here and there. So, I mean, it does take longer, but I mean, whatever works for that player.
I'm kind of curious about, last year with Jason Kidd was obviously a new thing, but throughout the season, y'all progressed, y'all got better, and then, you go to the Western Conference Finals, and I know you were kind of there observing a lot of that ride. This year, is Kidd's message much different than it started out last year? Does he look at the season in a different way than maybe most coaches and most people do?
I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, it's only like you said, it's only my second year with him, but for the most part, I think he's very confident in what he's doing with the team. Obviously, we have a brand new team with brand new players and some veterans. So, I mean, it's different, I would say, in a sense of having different players and different guys on the team. But for the most part, I think we're starting out kind of similar to what we did last year. And I think we're starting to find our groove like we did around the same time last year, probably, I think a little bit earlier. I think the COVID situation around Christmas time and around New Year's last year, I think really helped the team in a sense of guys knowing their roles and knowing what they need to do out there on the court for the team to be successful. And that's what I think propelled the team moving forward last year. So I think now, since we got new guys, I think now that everybody's starting to know their roles a little bit more, I think we're going to start turning the corner.
Talking with Tim Hardaway Jr. right here on 105.3 The Fan. We sometimes use the term, not just for the Mavs, but across the NBA, of a scheduled loss. So, for example, like
Chicago.
Okay, yes.
Oh,
okay,
wow.
see, you knew exactly what I'm saying. So, y'all have a game that starts in Chicago 19 hours after you finish a game back here in Dallas. Do you ever look at the big picture of the schedule and you're like, oh, for real? That's what's scheduled coming up next? I don't know.
No, I mean, we did look at that, so that's why I think we were so upset with the Milwaukee game as a team, and I think it carried over a little bit. I mean, just us being humans, we did think about it, I think, a little bit, but for the most part, I mean, everybody in the league will have a schedule, have a game or two that's like that. So I think you just have to try to do the best you can to recover, get your rest, and mentally be prepared for the challenge, because I will tell you right now, it was grueling for sure. Getting in really, really early in the morning, I would say not late at night, early in the morning, it was a tough one. But there's no excuses. Every team goes through it. We just got to fight.
Tim, putting you back in the starting lineup really helped you out. Can you talk about that decision and how it got you going?
I think for the most part, I think it, I gotta just give a shout out to Reggie. It was a tough situation. I mean, I was in the same situation as last year. I started beginning of the season, and they started Reggie, and then I had to come off the bench. So, so this year is kind of vice versa. But, you know, he's been a great sport, been a great teammate, been helping me out on the floor on defensively, making sure that I know where I am out there defensively on the court while I'm playing. And I think that right there just shows the confidence not only him, but the rest of my team has in me to go out there and be in that lineup to go out there and produce and perform the way I need to.
Obviously, we've seen some stuff here and there. I know he's hurt at the moment from Josh Green. What do you think about the potential of Josh Green, not necessarily just this year, but in years future? Do you think he has the potential to be an NBA starter?
Oh, 1,000%. He's put himself in a position right now. I would say so. He's been, I mean, everybody's seen it. He's worked his way up through a roster, and, you know, he's earned the right, you know, to go out there and play. He's earned his minutes, and it shows from his off-season working out and him preparing himself before each and every game, before each and every practice, even on off days coming in here getting work in. And his shooting, his shooting has been off the charts. So just me seeing him go out there and do his thing is also giving me confidence to try to go out there and do my thing. Just because, you know, he's showing that energy. So for me, it's like, why not? Like I'm going to feed off of Josh and try to do the things that he's doing. And he makes me feel like my younger self.
And were you disappointed? I'm just looking at the schedule. You guys are in San Antonio on December 31st. Were you hoping to be at a TCU Michigan game?
Nah, I'm good. I know those guys are going to take care of business, but I'm looking. Where's the national championship at again?
It's in Phoenix, right? Am I correct?
I believe
about
that is correct.
Yeah, I think you guys.
Do you need to start planning?
I think we're in Phoenix when the national championship game is, though.
Okay.
It's L.A. So
it's LA.
hop,
Oh, no,
skip-
it's L.A.? Well, I think someone's got to let me know, because if it's in L.A.,
You guys. I think you guys are at L.A.
What?
The Clippers on January 10th and at L.A. on January 12th. And isn't January 9th the championship game?
That is
Oh,
correct.
wow.
I
Why
do
did you look
believe.
at that? Why would you look at that? It was meant to be, fellas.
Man, outstanding stuff. I hope we helped facilitate that, and we appreciate you jumping on with us very much, good sir.
No, I appreciate you guys. Thank you.